My mantra is, there is no problem so great we can't solve it. And when I see people that are not well, I want to help them see that brighter side of lupus. My name is Shamira Beatles. My journey started when I was carrying my first child and we were in a car crash. Fortunately, my baby was born fine. But for me, I was not. I had a mid-thoracic spine strain. I found that it was easy for the medical field to put me in a collar. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder in 1985. It took over 7 years and 10 doctors for them to diagnose me. So my first thought was, how am I going to deal with it? And so I wanted to go to a lupus support group. I went to every symposium, I went to every gala. What I found was that the lupus support group was a safe place to tell your story. And I was basically told that if I wanted to live longer, I should move out of Vancouver, move to a dry place. So I packed my kids up in 1990 and we moved to Kelowna. Kelowna was awesome for me, but my medical field was not, because they just look at you and they say, you look so good. How come you're telling me that you've got all these symptoms? I was diagnosed with Raynaud's phenomenon. I was also suffering from aches and pains. So at the end of the day, they said, well, this is lupus and we don't have any cure for it. And I'm sure that there were other people that felt the same way. So I started the lupus support group in Kelowna. Over a period of 5 years, we had over 100 people. Over that time, we realized the need for a support group. And I was very honored by Lupus Canada. They gave me an award for my involvement. On a personal level, it was the best thing I did, because I found there was a place where nobody was questioning whether you have lupus or not, a place where people had hope. As I was going through my bout, I was helping others, but I was getting worse. And I've always been a scratch cook, so I cooked many nice meals at home that I thought were very balanced. But I think we realize now that our soil is not what it used to be. Our environment is not what it used to be, and a lot of the foods that we eat are deprived of nutrients. My body was overfed and undernourished. And when your body is not nourished well, it causes inflammation in your body. And so every part of my body ached in spite of my good intentions. When I turned 50, I met some friends that talked to me about nutrition, and I listened. And I think that's what turned the curve for me. So I started to visit scientists and the art of feeding your body. And once I went into that research and following their advice, I started to get better. It took almost 14 months before I started to wean myself of all my medication, because I'd found another way to feed my body. So it goes in the oven. And that's it. So you have a tray of vegetables ready to eat anytime you want. I am an extremely proud and happy grandma, and they are my focal point. They are my why. And when you have a strong why, you will somehow find the how. How did you carry that?
I'm strong.
I know you are.
I can also have a bridge.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. I got rid of a lot of the carbs in my diet and a lot of the sugars. I cook at home, but more than that, I'm mindful of what I cook and how I cook it. In this pot, I have some broth. It's a bone broth. The best thing for me is crock pots, or even just throwing things in the oven, because as lupus people, we don't know when we're going to be so sick that we can't cook. So pick your time when you're well. And that makes all the difference when you're managing your time. For me, first is the diet, okay? But our diet doesn't have enough. I could be the top chef, but there isn't enough in our diet to say it's complete. So I recommend people, when you decide to take a supplement, take a look at what you're taking. Do your research. My biggest mistake was that I'm very thrifty, and I was raising 3 kids on my own. Money was very hard. So I would go and buy the cheapest vitamins I could, and if anything, they harmed me more than they helped me. I'm gonna just put it right over here, plug it in, and it stays warm all day. A person that has an autoimmune disorder has inflammation in their bodies, so you are going through a lot of pain. So once you realize that by reducing your weight, you're reducing the weight on your joints. And the biggest thing that helped me was the swimming pool. I found those things very, very soothing for my body. But you gotta schedule it in, because most of the times we're too tired. But if you really wanna be well, you gotta have a different attitude, because to me, attitude is 9/10 of the law. First and foremost, know that we have an incredible organization. It's called BC Lupus. If I had given up on me, according to the doctors, I would have not made it to my 50th birthday. And I have a birthday coming up pretty soon, and it ain't 51. I want also people that are comfortable to approach me, ask me how I made it happen. I've created my own little webpage. It's called shamirabeatles.com. If you just get on there, you will read my story, and it has my contact information. Believe me, there is an answer out there. I found it. So let's find it together so that you have a more productive life.